Hello, everyone. My name is Zane. I'm a little bit sick right now. Oh, God, really sick. Well, not really sick, but my throat just kind of got caught. Whatever. Today has been a stressful day for various reasons, but it is time to say goodnight to this day. It is currently 1 a.m. on January 2nd of 2015. And tonight, I will be reading you a story. I keep adjusting my glasses, sorry. It is a story that I wrote. It is 522 words. And I guess I'll just get started. A boy came to a dark room at the end of the longest road he'd ever trekked. There was no light, save for a torch on the wall, and no way back from whence he came. It was an odd room, both black and white in the pure light, and on the wall before him there were 3 doors. He sat a moment and pondered, looking at each in turn, scratching his chin when, on a whim, he chose the door farthest to the left. Behind the door the floor dropped out and he saw the world as it was without him. He stepped out, hovering above the heads of the damned. They couldn't see him, and he couldn't touch them. And on it went for years. There was no way back to the room before, but he was content with this. The people he saw had lives their own, and struggles plenty, and as many ants conquered the leaves, so too did the people of the world conquer their mountains. He saw the first man to live forever, and he did not envy him. A girl came to a dark room at the end of a tunnel, in the mountain she'd always known. There was no light, save for a torch on the wall, and no way back from whence she came. It was an odd room, both tall as the peaks of the greatest hills, yet small as the reading alcove in her home that she loved dearly. On the wall before her, there were 3 doors. She rested a long while, mourning the loss of something she could not quite recall. After a lamenting minute, she stood, opening the door in the middle. The girl woke up, with the husband she thought she'd lost and the family she'd always wanted. It was summer, and the fair was in town. The people she knew waved and smiled at her, and she smiled back at them. A year went, and it was still summer, and she still smiled, and they smiled back. The fair was in town for 38 years, and it was still summer, and the family was hers and yet not, and she no longer smiled back. A day went by when she searched for a mountain on the prairies she lived on. In the distance, the music from the fair played on and on. She never did find that mountain. She never did get a second chance. Someone a little bit odd came into their dark room at the end of the hall, and found the distinct feeling that they should wait. There were torches lining the wall of this room, and it was not dark in the least. The walls were clean white, the floor a sterile and metallic tint of gray. A woman sat behind a desk, looking up to welcome him. He stood there momentarily, and tilted his head. There were 3 doors in front of him, but he found no appeal in any of them. He looked to the woman behind the desk, receiving a nod. With that, he strode over to the door farthest to the right, opened it, and stepped out into a cloudy night. The woman didn't notice. She'd already forgotten his name. Everyone chose the 3rd door eventually. The end.